It's human nature to want and need to be loved, yet we're informed by our experiences, and sometimes it's difficult to receive unconditional love, or it's difficult to give it, because often we feel judged, condemned, and criticized for who we truly are. In reality, God loves us unconditionally, but if some of that judgment and condemnation has come from people in the church, it tends to transfer, and we think that that's how God feels about us. In all reality, God's unconditional love is actually very attainable, but you have to want to try to embrace it, to discover it. It's a conscious choice to be involved with other people, to engage in conversations, maybe engage in a Bible study, a small group discussion, and find out more about that unconditional love. Even more important, putting it to practice. Having enough unconditional love for yourself, which is a real challenge because we tend to be our own worst enemies. But loving ourselves, understanding God's love for us so we can love others. Crossbridge is open and affirming. There are too many people out there who have been hurt, who have been bludgeoned by well-meaning Christians who condemn them and say you're going to fall out of favor with God, when all reality is God loves all of us. In fact, many times it says love your neighbor, period. There's no additional punctuation to imply that there's any exceptions. Who is your neighbor? Well, your neighbor might live next door, down the street, or maybe somewhere in virtual reality. But getting to know who your neighbor is important so that you can learn how to receive unconditional love and give it. It's not easy. We're not all going to agree with everybody. In fact, John Wesley, the founder of the Methodist Church, said, love your neighbor as yourself, and later on went on to say it's okay to agree to disagree. We don't have to like everybody all the time, but there's no reason for us to hate, because God loves each of us unconditionally. So my challenge for you is to take a look at who is easy to love and who in your life is difficult to love. Who do you feel loves you easily, and who do you feel has a difficult time loving you? Once you've spent some time thinking about that, I invite you to be in prayer and ask God how you can relate to them and connect to them. It might be as simple as inviting them to come sit down next to you and have a conversation.